All right. So thank y'all for coming. We have a lot of great, interesting things we're covering today, from Ian Flager, our national president, and Cindy Spernopoulos, which took me forever to say that last name. She is our Southeast director, and she has things that she's going to go over for us as well. And then we also have Melanie Myers on the call, who is with the NEF Education. And as you know, last year we did a big push for our Nashville chapter on getting, bless me, getting our certifications. And a lot of us, especially even on this call, got our certifications. And I wanted more explanation and more that we could give out to our members about it. So with that, Tiffany is going to kick it off with our inspiration.
Yes, thank you, ladies, for taking time out of your day to be on this very important call. Real briefly, what I want to quote something and then just give you a little story. Obviously, this year our theme is being the driving force. We're really excited about all of the events we're going to have centered around that. So one of the quotes that I found is from Tony Robbins. I'm sure everybody knows who he is. If you don't, look him up. But he's a big inspirational speaker and mentor to a lot of people. And he says, there's a powerful driving force inside every human being that once unleashed can make any vision, dream, or desire a reality. And I think that obviously is so true. Once we put into our brain what we want to do and what we want to be, how we can make that happen. And so then that got me thinking about how did women get into construction? I'm not sure everybody knows this about me, but I'm a Marine. So there had to be one woman that took the challenge and said, hey, I want to go do this Marine thing, right? So there's someone that had to start somewhere for all of us women. And I want to read this quick little quote. And actually was from the NAWIC new blog. So if y'all have not signed up to start looking at the NAWIC blog from our national organization leaders, it's very good. So we call this lady Wendy the Welder. Many may recall Rosie the Riveter, which was the campaigns back in the 1940s. But there was another nickname for this construction women during the wartime, and it was Wendy the Welder. Though not credited to one particular woman, the construction women were rather a group of courageous workers who had to endure harsh and sometimes deadly conditions to aid in the welding of ships. One woman named Bethina Moore, who reportedly weighed only 110 pounds, was one of the workers responsible for climbing into the bowels of ships by scaling down a narrow ladder attached to a welding machine in order to weld double bottoms on ships. She is quoted as saying, "It was dark and scary," but she went on to say, "You know why you were doing it. The men overseas might not get back. They were lives that were involved, so the welding had to be perfect." These construction women proved to many that women were not only just as capable of men to handle this intense work, but willing to do the work. So that is our powerful driving force. These women back then put it into their mind that they wanted to help their country, that they wanted to help the men that were gone. And then, but not only that, they had no idea that they were setting the footprints in the sand for women like us to lead through construction. So in your daily life, try to be the powerful driving force for those around you. And I'm done. And scene.
Thanks, Tiffany. And that is powerful. That is great, because you don't know who you come in contact with and influence as a woman in construction. So next is our committee update. And so for some of you that do not know, the Finance Committee is Jennifer Costello, and the auditor for this year for April through September 30th financials was Stacy Nash. Tiffany Wonder, who gave the inspiration, is our membership and marketing. Stacy Downs and Rebecca Woods are our professional development and education. Nominating committee is Jennifer Camargo. Memory Bagsby is our WIC Week chair. Sandy Wick is our civic chair, and Mary Craven is our Block Kids chair. So we had the audit. Stacy Nash completed the audit and everything was in good standing. Due to the very limited activity, she had a few checks to look at and review, and also the deposits and transfers from our Wild Apricot account, which is the merchant service account when people pay for luncheons and things. Membership and marketing, Tiffany, you want to talk about?
Yes. So we're very excited. I think Ann and Cindy both will recognize these little beautiful dads right here. We had Rochelle with constructionjewelry.com design our Nashville pin, which is Be the Driving Force. As you can tell, there's a little black road with stripes on it. And our lady, who looks like she's wearing a mask, is the driving force behind this pin. We talked in the meeting prior to this as to how we're going to distribute these. And we're excited about getting them to the existing members. And then, of course, any new members, and we're going to be very proud to be showing off our pins, but they're also going to go in conjunction with our new name tags that Andrea has been in charge of getting those for us. We're really excited about them. We're going from kind of like an oval name tag to a square name tag again, and we'll be able to do a lot more with our name tags. So Andrea is showing you what it's going to look like. The idea is that we'll be able to get some of the little colored banners that go on the bottom that would say president or new member. So we can really help identify who we all are at our meetings. And then the pins will actually, if you want, you'd be able to put the pin on the name tag also. With that in mind, then the keychain hammer with Nashville NAWIC 16 on them, that's another really great, I like to call them hotchkiss or swag that we're going to be handing out. And so all that have renewed for this year are going to get everything above that. And more importantly, you know, we're going to be very proactive with reaching out to our new members more often, members that we haven't been seeing as often. So not just due to COVID, but even prior to that, we had some of our ladies that are members, but they're not really able to participate or were able to participate the way we would like them to. So we're going to just reach out to them and make a more one-on-one time to meet with them and get them into the meetings and get them more involved. That's our 2021 goal.
Thanks, Tiffany.
Thank you.
Professional development and education. Starting December 1st, they are selling bottles of wine with gift cards from Demos's. And after covering the cost, all that is over the cost will go in our scholarship fund. And they're setting, they're going to start from December 1st to February 2021. That way it covers the Christmas season and also Valentine's. So you can maybe get a gift, or maybe have your husband get the gift, just saying, or significant other, or whomever, or you buy it for a girlfriend. They're giving out 2 $1,000 scholarships. We do have enough money that they could probably do 2 $1,500, but they're going to have to discuss that and decide more. Nominating committee with Jennifer Camargo will start January 1st. This is the committee that gets in touch with our members, ask them about being on our board in a position of director if they've never been on the board, or our current board members on moving up in the hierarchy as secretary, treasurer, vice president, and president. Of course, you know, it's a fulfilling thing. I'm biased, but it's a fulfilling thing to be on the board and you get to see things firsthand. And we're trying this year also to be very much more transparent. that any questions or anything, there's nothing that we haven't discussed. Like I just discussed all this with our board in the call before this. So membership knows and they're seeing it. Women in Construction Week is coming up March 7th through the 13th. We are in the planning stages. We got final confirmation that we are committed, and you'll hear more from Cindy about the cool ideas that we have regionally on that this year. So be on the lookout for different things that we have coming up.
Can I chime in real quick?
Go.
Hi guys, it's me, Marie, chair of WIC Week for this year. I really could use some volunteers and some help. I need about 4 to 6 members. If you're interested in having a great time the first week of March, it takes very little commitment. I usually try to really get started digging my heels in January or December brainstorming, having a couple of meetings in January, a couple in February, and then knocking it out of the ballpark for the first week of March. That's the only commitment that you're needed for. Historically, we've done things. Last year was really screwed up because of the tornado, and then COVID hit all at the exact same time as WIC Week. So it kind of messed our plans up. But historically, we've had fashion shows, we've had fundraisers, we've had silent auctions, we have job site tours. I'm planning, I live on a farm. I'm planning on trying to get together an obstacle course for us. I got some really neat ideas. So if you want to get involved in a committee without having a full year commitment, but having a shorter term commitment with 1 full week of having a whole lot of fun, give me a call, please. Thank you.
Way to plug, girl. The next is our civic and community. This is, as y'all have been seeing and probably seeing all of it being against all of our social media and our website and everything, that we are doing as the national chapter, a woman build for Habitat for Humanity. There's some townhomes here in Nashville and North Nashville that they're doing. It will be more it was supposed to be March, but it's going to be now pushed to April. They're trying to finalize some things, so it got pushed a little bit. We're looking for a food sponsor now. The t-shirt sponsor got taken care of through the board meeting, but we'll need someone to sponsor food. We have to be responsible for our food. They will provide the hard hats, the safety goggles, the safety vests, the masks, and I'm forgetting something. Basically, they're providing all the PPE. And so their t-shirt budget that they would usually give out is nil and none. So we're going to have to do one ourselves, but we've got that taken care of. We've already raised, out of the 7,875, we have raised already 4,122. And we're doing another big push on December the 1st for Giving Tuesday. So that's going to be a big push. And you know, if we can just maybe even have 1 or 2, we have already a couple of companies committed, but then I think the little bridge that we got to cover it, if we all gave $20 as a member, poof, it's gone. And the day of, we'll need like 24 volunteers. And Block Kids, I just got confirmation email before our meeting. Mary Craven, who is also doing our new name tags with National Engravers, she had the Block Kids through St. Edward's Catholic School last year, and she just got confirmation they want to do it this year. And they want to do it in person, but they're going to do social distancing where they're doing like 10 kids and like 2 judges, and we're going to make it where it's 2 sessions, but they want to still do it in person and not by Zoom. So we're going to do that this year. It was a big success last year. We're going to get new blocks for them, and then also little gift bags. So if you want to sponsor or help out, let me know, or get in touch with Mary Craven. Or if you don't have any of her contact information, you can email me. And then lastly, our future meeting will be next Thursday. That's our social meeting. We're trying every month as a chapter to have a regular lunch meeting that's about business and going over things like I am today. And then also having a social get together, either via Zoom or in this case, it's going to be the driving force, where between 3:30 and 5:30, we're going to be at the Venture Science Museum off Fort Negley Boulevard. It's where the old Nashville Sound Stadium used to be. The backdrop, the leaves have fallen off the trees, and you can see, I counted this morning when I drove by, 8 cranes and a bunch of buildings. So it's a great backdrop. We want every member and even the women in their office. I'm grabbing my 2 ladies to come with your company vehicle. We're going to have individual company vehicles pictures. And then at 4:30, so we don't miss the sunset, Wendy Whitmore's company, Aerial Innovations, who is a member of ours, she is doing a drone picture of all of us with our vehicles with the backdrop of everything. And this way, companies can use their own pictures and we can put them on video running, where we can put it on our Facebook, on our LinkedIn. And then the December Christmas party, we just got confirmed as well, will be social distancing guidelines, but we're going to have it at TW Frierson, and probably maybe a little, not a dirty elephant, but maybe an elephant party with just snacks and drinks and just have fun and get to see each other. But they have such a big area that we can be social distance, wear masks. So trying to still get the one-on-one, but still trying to be in guidelines and making sure we are in par with Nashville's guidelines, Tennessee guidelines, and of course what National is wanting us to do as well. So I am done with that part of mine. So let me stop sharing and let's put Cindy. How do I? Ooh. Use speaker view. Okay. Cindy, go ahead, start talking. Maybe it'll work.
Am I there?
You're there, but I don't have you where it's showing you. Dang it.
Dang it.
Oh, man.
I think that's done on each person's individual. If they click the speaker,
Yeah, if they click
it'll show Cindy.
up in the corner, you'll
Yep.
see speaker view. You can click on speaker view and then just the speaker will be there.
That work? No.
You can try. Well, they have to do it on their own computer or phone.
Yeah, because we can see her and hear her.
Here we go. I'll make it a little bit bigger. This is Cindy. She's our Southeast Region Director, Cindy Sparnopoulos. And I'm turning it over to her.
Thank you, Andrea. Thank you for having me, first of all. I appreciate the ladies taking the time out. I do have a couple things I'd like to talk about. First thing would be WIC Week. Let's get WIC Week started, since that seems to be the first thing that's coming up. I got confirmation this morning that every chapter in the Southeast will participate in WIC Week. All the confirmation forms came in. I think we're the first region to do that too. Just making a note of that, Anne. What we're going to do, actually, in the middle of the week on March 10th, Jeanette from the Fort Lauderdale chapter came up with this idea of, and correct me if I'm wrong, Andrea, we're going to actually, what they did for another event was pass a baton. What we're going to do is we're going to pass a hammer, and we're going to have each chapter speak for 30 seconds and then hand the hammer over. It's going to be a video, and then you'll see how each goes to each chapter. And then at the very end, I'll just say something to that effect. But all the chapters.
And it's also red out day, so everybody has to wear red.
Oh yes, I forgot about that part. Yeah. So all the chapters will have a 30-minute video wearing red, and they're going to have a hammer in their hand, supposedly with a red bow on it, but we'll figure that part out. We're still in the early stages. But as they speak, and then they'll be handing the hammer over to the next chapter, which will be the next video. So it's going to be very, very creative. I loved the idea when it was brought up. I'm super excited that every chapter committed to doing this. So this is the first time, I think, in my 22 years as a member that I've seen the whole region come together on a WIC Week event. So it's going to be pretty amazing. And I thank Jeanette for the idea. So I'm really looking forward to that. So I think we're just going to have either the presidents do the 30-second spiel, or if your president can't do it, then you can certainly have someone else do it. I was on the WIC Week Zoom conference call, and they came up with some very, very unique things to do for WIC Week. You know, of course, proclamations are always a good idea, but we decided that we needed to do them way ahead of time with COVID going on and everything like that. But they had everything from bowling to movies to lunches, community service, feeding the homeless. I mean, there was just so many, I can't even remember, couldn't even write them all down. But definitely going to be a fun week. So March 10th is the day, which is the Wednesday in the middle of WIC Week, that we're going to go ahead and put the videos together. With that said, marketing and membership. And I don't know if I can, I'm going to try something for the first time because I'm technology challenged. I'm going to try to share my screen. Do you all see that?
See if I can transfer.
I mean, I see it on
Shared.
mine. I don't know if I have to be the host to do that, to share a screen or not.
Nothing? Yeah, you need to make her
We're gonna
co-host,
do that.
Andrea. If you can make her co-host, she can share.
Yeah, let's see. So I got to go to. Sharing. Where's the?
I've always
Where's
wanted to do this.
Make host.
There you go.
Try it, girl.
You're the host now. Now, I wonder if I have to go back to sharing my screen now. Share screen. Good. Yay. Yay. You have no idea what I've been learning over the last year and a half. Okay, let's talk about the marketing and membership. And before I go any further, Andrea, as I noticed on your PowerPoint, your logo is still the incorrect logo. Just make sure.
What? I thought I had the right A's.
No, the two A's.
Oh no.
I know.
Oh, dude. This has been too much fun.
Just thought I'd mention it because I don't want Ann to yell at you.
No, I've tried. I thought it, but I just did that this morning and forgot about that. I got stuck on a call.
I know. I look at everybody's emails that they send me, and I'm like, oh, there's another one. But just make sure we get that corrected. All right, for the marketing and membership, we had a Zoom meeting. I can't remember when it was. On 15th or 16th of October. They're having a bunch of webinars that are coming up throughout the year. I would highly suggest attending some of these. We have one coming up on the 19th, which is about the national branding, which we did on the national level. And it's going to have a lot to do with what we just talked about with the logo and stuff like that. But the others are great opportunities for you to learn about conferences and forums, which, you know, are very involved, but, you know, fun things to do. So just wanted to bring that up so you could see that the membership and marketing has a lot going on. All right, I'm going to close that. As for the emerging professionals, Nicole put a great report together at Fall Conference that was in the Fall Conference program. If you did not see that, I can certainly send you a copy. I don't know, I have not seen anything planned for another call. And Nicole, correct me if I'm wrong. Do we have a Zoom call coming up in the near future? I didn't see anything come up on my calendar. So right now, I know they're still working on their goals and stuff like that. The next item is Forum 2021, which is going to be in Tampa, Florida, April 22nd to the 25th, which is Sunday, but there's nothing on Sunday. It will be Discover the Treasures of NAWIC. We're going to continue with the same theme that we were planning on in 2020. So I call it Forum 2021, AKA Forum 2020. Try to say that 10 times. We are having a scavenger hunt or pirate treasure hunt on Thursday night. Friday will be seminars. We have about 7 seminars, which are going to be great. And then, of course, Saturday will be our general session. And we'll be going over, you know, obviously the winners for the year that are coming up. And I know for those of you that went to Fall Conference this past month, we did a combination of Forum and Fall Conference together, trying to play catch up. So hopefully we can, don't have to do that again. So right now we are going to be doing Forum 2021 in Tampa, Florida in person. So for those of you that do not feel comfortable, there is a possibility that we may do it hybrid, and I will make sure that we have a Zoom meeting set up. We haven't quite decided on that as of yet. I was the last one at the end waiting for Fall Conference. I was the last one to switch over to a virtual meeting because I really wanted it together, but unfortunately we could not do that. So plan on Tampa 2021. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a great time. These ladies are so excited because they were so disappointed in not having it. So we are so ready for this now because we had it just about finished back then. So now we'll be able to do it. So does anybody have any questions for me? On a regional level, on a national level, any questions, comments, concerns, issues? Anything you'd like me to take to mid-year board meeting? We have that coming up. For those of you that didn't hear that at Fall Conference. No? All right, Andrea, back to you. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
You are so welcome. And next we have Ann Flagger, who is our national president. And I probably have to take Cindy.
Were you going to do Melanie
back
next,
off.
Andrea?
Oh, yes. Sorry, Melanie. Shoot. There she is. Hold on.
Thanks everyone for having me on the call today. I'm Melanie Myers. I am with the Lansing NAWIC chapter in Michigan, and I'm also the NEF president-elect. So glad to be here with you today. And I know Andrea said you wanted to learn a little bit more about the NEF programs, and I shared with her kind of a cheat sheet that you guys can use if you're looking at some of the courses. So, oh, she's gonna put it up there. So everybody's familiar with NEF because of Black Kids and design drafting, but we also have a lot of really great construction educational programs that are meant for anyone either in the industry or interested in entering into the construction industry. We have 5 specifically: the construction bookkeeping technician, the construction document technician, construction industry specialist, the construction industry technician, and then last but not least is our estimating scheduling practitioner. These are kind of meant for you to do on your own. They're self-studies. But we are looking at, and I'm excited to announce that we did so well with our online course at annual conference that NEF is looking at offering nationally more courses online in the upcoming months. And we just had a conference call before this with our technical people, and we're trying to get things in order so we can start rolling out these classes and you can come in and participate. So if you want to take the CIT and you don't feel confident enough doing it on your own, or you just want the extra study time or to be able to work with an instructor, we're hoping we're going to be able to offer those here within this year. So I'm really excited about those. These are all set up for specific parts of the industry. Most of them are self-explanatory. The 2 that are closely related, but they are different, are the CIT and the CIS. CIT is more of a terminology-based program. So if you're looking at wanting to learn more about construction technology, or you know of a career center in your area that has a construction program, this would be a great opportunity for them to use this in their classroom. Currently, the CIS is actually being taught in a college course, an introductory level course. The difference between the 2 are that the CIS takes what's in the CIT to another level. So there's a lot more in the CIS as far as information and descriptions on these terms that you learn in the CIT. So CIT might be if there's someone in your office who may be an attorney or an insurance agent, those kinds of professions the CIT is really great for. CIS may be somebody who's working their way up through the ranks and wants to get more into a project management type position. The construction bookkeeping is that. It's all about accounting and how to keep construction accounting and payables and receivables, job costing, all of that's included in that one. And then the construction document technician, that's about how to read the construction documents. So your drawings and your project manuals, all of that is covered in there. And then our ESP is primarily estimating with a little bit of a focus on scheduling as well. So if you were asking me what you should take first, I would definitely take the CDT before you take the ESP. Especially if that's an area you don't have as much experience in. CBT's for anyone, CIT is for anyone, CIS maybe for somebody who's going into a more management level or looking for more industry information. So we have the 5 courses. What's great now is that all of our textbooks you can buy EPUB or hardcover, and they come from the same printing company. And you can also, there's a combination on there if you want the book and the EPUB, you can actually get that as well. So that's a really nice thing about our courses. I did put on here some questions and answers that I normally get when people ask me about the courses. The first one I always hear about it is, are these only open to NAWIC members? And the simple answer is no, they are not open to only NAWIC members. They're open to anyone in the industry or anybody interested in entering the industry. And we're even looking at and have looked at branching out more into high schools and colleges. As I mentioned before, we do have a college here, community college here in Michigan that's using the CIS as part of their introductory level course. I talked a little bit about how the courses are delivered. They're all put together to be self-guided. We are working on some online study guides. Again, we're having some technology changes, so we pushed that back just a little bit, but before the end of this next year, we'll have a couple of the programs on these self-guided course companions. So you'll be able to use those along with the course book and materials. We always hear the question, how long do I have to complete the examination? So most of you who may know about some of our programs from the beginning, you buy the textbook and the exam together. The day that you buy the textbook starts your clock. So at 3 years after you purchase your course is the time frame you have to take the test. We have been pretty good about sending letters out and emails out, letting people know if they're getting close to that 3-year mark. But we definitely want to make sure that people are not going past that. And the reason for that is that we actually review all of our textbooks every 3 years. So they're on a cycle. So it is pretty important that you test prior to that end of the 3 years, because it may be different information that shows up on the test that you didn't know about. Another one we hear about, if you take certification courses through other avenues, you sometimes have to go back and take refresher courses to keep your designation, or you have to have certain hours and certain disciplines. You don't need those for any of NEF's programs. That's what's great about them. Once you are successful with an exam, that's yours to keep forever. So it's a really great way to get some credentials. And, you know, I've seen what some of the other organizations charge, and ours are so cost effective compared to some of the other ones. So we're down in the 100 to 200 range, where I've seen them go as high as $1,200 for a class. So we keep them very reasonable so that they stay attractive, not only to our NAWIC members, but also to the industry. We also get, so what's this benefit to my career? What is this going to do for me? Like any other organization that has credentialing packages, these are stackable, which means that when you get these, it's a quality education and you have the credentials to prove it. So if you take the CIT, you're going to use the CIT after your name. You can do that. You can put these on your resume because you furthered your education. It's never a bad thing to have more education. So we just don't ask that you have to do any recertification to keep those. Another thing that a lot of people don't actually know is that all of our courses are endorsed by the American Council for Construction Education. ACCE actually accredits almost all of the construction management programs in the United States for college and universities. So our courses now have been recognized by ACCE as quality construction education programming, which means that their industry-led board actually looks at our information and make sure that one is up to date, that everything in there is something that the industry would like to see taught out in companies and in other venues. So we really are held accountable for every piece of content that we put out there, and we're really proud of that. So when somebody says, oh, well, the NEF courses don't mean anything, they do. We're getting the same backing that a lot of universities like Purdue are getting their courses endorsed and backed by ACCE. So it's a great opportunity for us to have gotten this far with them. And we hope that the NAWIC members and others will see it as a great plus as well. I don't know if any of you have any other questions, or I didn't mention about testing. Testing is a lot better than it used to be. Now you can take the testing online. It's 100% online, and you can do it at home. You can do it in your PJs. You can wear your sweatpants, whatever you want to. You do not have to go to a testing center anymore. We just ask that you call the NEF office when you're ready and give us a few dates and times that you're thinking of testing, because we can leave a window open for you. Just like the other testing methods we had, there is a time frame for each one of the books. So you actually will be given a time once you start. That's when the clock starts. So for most of them, it's an hour and a half that you have to complete the test. And then you get your results immediately. So you will know as soon as you hit the finish button what you actually have received on the exam. And on this particular web-based software that we're using, you also can print out your certificate right from that site. You can also save it in a PDF and put it in your file if you'd rather do that. But everything is 100% online, and it can be taken anywhere you feel comfortable doing it. So that's the great thing about our new testing format. So I don't know if anybody has any questions.
Melanie, I have a question. This is Leanne.
Sure.
I took and passed, fortunately, the CIS. But is there, and I don't know if who I talked to exactly, is there a plan to possibly allow the test results to be printed out? Because I went back, I would have liked to go back and see what I missed and what areas I might need more of.
So to make our exams credible, we can't really give the answers out, because then they're floating out there. And while we know most people are honest, it's going to take one person to grab a hold of those answers and start sharing them with everybody else. And then it makes the test not credible anymore, and it makes the certification itself really kind of null and void. So we don't do that. As I mentioned earlier, we're looking at some newer technology, some different technology. The one that I'm specifically looking at, I think, gives us a better way of actually seeing the numbers, or at least seeing where in the test that you actually had issues with. So you can go back and study those areas again. So hopefully we'll be able to do a little bit more of that. But even if you went to CIS and took one of their exams, they won't let you print out anything either. It's all, you go in there, take it, and then you never see what your end results were. So we kind of keep it that way to keep it safe.
No, I understand. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Word to the wise: don't take the test while you have children at home and they're in quarantine and their mamaing you. I ran out of time and had 3 questions left, and I missed
Oh.
questions the first go round. So make sure that you don't have kids at home and you have a crisis.
Yeah, and that's I would recommend that. Make sure it's quiet time, even if the only time you can do it is 1 o'clock in the morning. It might be better than trying to do it when you have other people around.
Melanie, I don't think there was one question about, are the courses intimidating? And I actually, because I took the CBT, I actually answered that they're not easy, but if you know your profession or know where you want to go, like I'm going to go after the CIT, the one that's before I'm going to do my CIT, and because we found out through one of our past president, Nicole Jenkins, that she took the CIS first, then the CIT, and she was like, oh, dude, I messed him up.
Yeah, so I would not say that they're intimidating. And as a matter of fact, over the course of probably the last 2 or 3 years, we've been reviewing materials again and making sure. I do not believe in making things hard for people. And I'm one of the ones that help write the questions for most of our programs. We try not to make things that will trip people up. We will go back and we will change and reevaluate questions. If we ever have questions from a test taker that they had issues or problems with a certain question, we'll go back and reevaluate those. And sometimes it's just a matter of changing some wording in them so that they're easier to understand when you read them the first time. One thing that we tell people, that we never put anything on the exam that isn't in the book. And we've painstakingly looked at all of our questions to make sure that that's exactly where they're coming from. So yeah, our goal is not to trip anybody up. And the nice thing about this being online now is that, you still can't come to the table and not have read the material. So you really need to read the material and understand it before you take the test. You can't come in and think, oh, I got an hour and a half, I'm going to look through the book while I'm taking the test. It won't work that way. You'll never make it through the test. You'll lose time. So
I do have one comment on the CIS. There's a section where they talk about the engineering rulers, and they're not to scale. So I beat myself to death in that section, and I got all of my engineers on board. I mean, we had our VPs of our operations and finally determined that those are not to scale. So don't do as long as you have the concept, it's fine, but beating yourself to death, trying to get your answer and their answer to match based on the rulers. And I just kind of a forewarning, because I spent so much time on that section that I thought I'm never, because it's right in the beginning, and I kind of got intimidated that maybe, that section was going to beat me down. But, I think we just got to make sure we understand that was the case there.
yeah, and I actually, since I wrote the CIS, there were some mistakes in that chapter that I actually fixed, I think, 1.5 years ago, just because I caught them on something. So yeah, and that's hard to do when we have printed material. Things get printed differently. That when you're working with construction drawings too. So maybe we need to put a little note in there saying that these aren't to scale, that just use the lines as a indicator or a way to just practice.
That would be super helpful.
Yeah,
like I said, it scared me. I thought, I'm not going to get through the rest of this book if I can't figure out how to read a ruler.
I have taught how to read architectural and engineering scales before, and I will tell you the engineering scale, actually both of them, they're the hardest things to teach if people don't understand the concept right away. So to put it in a book, I was even more scared because I thought, oh, this is never going to come across right. So, but yeah, we could put, definitely the next go around, we'll put a little note in there for that.
Yeah, I thought you did a good job explaining it. It's just, like I said, once you try to hold one in real life and then use, match it up with what you had, that's where I got confused.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, before I go, I don't know if you guys had heard at your fall conference, we have another raffle going on like we did at annual conference. Not as many prizes, but there are still some really great ones. There's a TV again, and a Microsoft Surface, and there's a Bose Bluetooth speaker on there, and there's some jewelry and a couple of handbags and some artwork this time around. So if you want to go in, all the money goes to help us keep these programs up and running, and to help us develop new things, which we always have ideas that come up. And we're looking for new things to do, especially K through 12 and some of those areas. So if there's anything, if you guys want to go in and partake in this latest round, please do so. So I know the information's out on our Facebook page right now. It's called the Fall Harvest. So if you've seen that, that's what it is. That's another chance for another raffle.
Yeah, and you also do this during national conference as well. And it's it's big fun when it's in person.
It is, but the nice thing about doing this virtually now, we reach so many people who we wouldn't normally get with the fundraiser. So it was a really great opportunity. We actually made over $16,000 this year at the annual conference raffle. So we normally probably bring in about $5,000 or $6,000, but because it was open to anybody and everybody, we had quite a few male names on there that we would never hardly ever get at annual conference, other than a waiter or something that walked by and bought some raffle tickets. But yeah, opening it up to everybody is a great thing, and we can actually mail them directly to the winners. So that helps out a lot with us not having to carry stuff to annual conference. And I think we're going to be doing a lot more of this as time goes on. So yeah, it's been good for us.
Well, thank you, Melanie. This was great.
Yeah, thank you.
Like I said, Nashville last year, we made a big push and 6 of us got our certifications. 2 of us out of the 6 got 2 certifications.
Yay.
So
that's great to hear.
And we know of other women that are in our chapter that are going after it as well. So I wanted to make sure we touched on that.
Okay. If there's anything I can help you with, just let me know. I'll be more than happy to either come back to a meeting, or if you guys want to do a virtual class or whatever, just let me know.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, no problem.
Andrea, is the Interchange Foundation doing grants again this year?
She is.
Do you want to talk about that for the people on the call?
So, yes, our past board director, Rebecca Woods, she owns Interchange Foundation. She was the owner for over 25 years of Superior Traffic Control, and she sold it to someone to run it. So she's retired, but she goes through, and last year she sponsored 2 women for 2 tests where they can basically, they buy the book and she'll pay for the test part. So they buy both, but she'll reimburse them once they get it with the amount of the test.
So I'm actually one of the people that received one of those grants, and that's exactly what I did. I just showed her my receipt, and I had a check, and I just have to show her again to get the testing part paid for. I just have to show her that I've taken the test. So it's a great program, especially if your company won't pay for it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And she also goes, she's more in Florida now, retired, than in Tennessee, but she's still, with her Interchange Foundation, very active in schools here in Middle Tennessee, in the Tennessee Road Builders Association and other stuff. So she's still very active.
Nice.
And in this way, helping education has been a really great thing.
That's nice. That's nice to have that.
If you're interested, her website is, I think it's the interchangefoundation.org, and you have to apply on her website for a scholarship. And so anybody on this call, if you're interested, you can apply, and then she does like a little interview with you, and then she'll reimburse you. So free education opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And what's her name again?
Rebecca Woods. And if you want me to, Melanie, I can send you her information.
Yeah, that would be great. I would like to kind of touch base with her a little bit, so she could be a a great sounding board for us, or someone for our board.
Yeah, she's the one who came up with this idea last year, and we thought it was awesome, so we ran with it.
Great. I love those stories.
All right. Now, ladies, I will introduce our president, Miss Ann Pfleger, National NAWIC President.
Hello, everybody. Can you hear me okay? No?
A little low.
All right, hold on. Let me, is that any better?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Thank you so much for giving me the time to see you all. I would much rather be with you in person, but as we know, everything going on today, it's not feasible. But the one great thing about this is that I can attend chapters virtually. I've actually been to 18 different chapters already since September 1st. So only 100 to go, and we'll be good. The tricky one is going to be Guam, because they're like 11, 12 hours ahead of us. So it'll be a very early morning visit there. But it's been great to be able to visit the chapters and tell you a little bit about what's going on at the national level. And first off, I'd like to congratulate everybody for the members that you voted into the board this year. There's a lot of things that I had plans for and wanted to do this year. And of course, bringing it to the board, asking them for their support and can we do it? And I did not hear a single hesitation. Nobody said no. Everybody was like, yes, let's do this. We can do this. So you guys should be congratulated on who you voted for. They are doing a fabulous job. We are ramping up communication on the national level. We are having monthly board meetings to conduct business. And after each one of those board meetings, we are providing a summary of actions. So you will see every month what business we're conducting and the things that we're working on. You are able to, since it's virtual, you are able to audit those national board meetings if you want to. They are the third Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. Eastern time. You guys are in Central time, correct? It'll be 6 p.m. Central time. If you are interested in attending one of those meetings, just send me an email, president@nawic.org. We like to have it like about a week before just so we can get everything organized with the meeting and get those invitations set up. Now I know we're already past the deadline for next week's board meeting, so if anybody is interested, shoot me an email by the end of the day tomorrow and I'll make sure to get that information over to you. One of the great things that happened at virtual annual conferences, we launched our industry councils and we started out with 9 of them, and the flyer is on the screen right now. The great thing about these industry councils is not only does it give you the opportunity to connect with members all across the country, but it helps you to discuss things going on in your specific area. And I know we all wear different hats and do a lot of different things. I know personally in the company I work for, I'm in estimating, safety, HR, IT. What's also great about these councils is you can join more than one. You can be involved in all 9 of them if you want to. But the industry councils have been, everyone's a little bit different with their scheduling and what they're talking about, but we are trying to keep it organic and just be a support system. Things that they can talk about with what's going on in the industry in their area, maybe things they want to bring to the board, or ways that we can affect and impact the construction industry. If you are interested in joining one of the councils, just shoot me an email, president@nawic.org, and I'll make sure to get you connected with the proper council. Last month at the national board meeting, we approved a pilot program to do an OSHA 10-hour course in December. And actually, your region director, Cindy Sparopoulos, will be teaming up with Kathy Dobson, who's in the North Central region of the Detroit chapter. This will be a virtual OSHA 10-hour course, and we wanted to provide this opportunity for members just to gain some more knowledge about the industry. You don't have to specifically be in safety, but this course, and I've taken both the 10-hour and I've also taken 30-hour since I worked in safety in my company. But the OSHA 10-hour is really a great general overview of the construction industry standards, regulations, things to be aware of. And we thought that if you are interested in doing that and gaining that knowledge, we could provide this for you. There is a cost. It is very minimal compared to what is already out there. For members, it's $39, and for non-members, it's $45. The schedule is up there. It's going to happen in December. It's not going to be all done in one day, so you don't have to do it. You know, it's kind of hard to even do in one day anyways. I'm sure that Kathy and Cindy probably would be difficult to continuously talk for 10 hours, right, Cindy? But we are maxing out at 40 attendees. So if you are interested, contact the national office. Chrissy Ingram, our executive director, can get you signed up. And if we don't get you on this one, I foresee this continuing on, but we're just trying it to make sure that it will work for our members and also for Cindy and Kathy to do the facilitating of it. Our national committees are hard at work, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later, but I wanted to mention this is kind of and I believe Andrea has these, she can share them with you. As of right now, which it's constantly changing, these are all the webinars that our NAWIC committees are putting on for this year. And I do say as of right now, because I know a lot of the committees are still working on putting together webinars. As things are coming up, we're asking the national committee chairs, which Andrea Ward is the national membership chair. We reach out to them and say, hey, do you think you could get this topic in one of your webinars? And the chairs are doing an amazing job with that. So I know that this is not going to be the final schedule, but this is kind of a good summary of what's available. It also, and which I'll talk a little bit later, it also includes the National Leadership Series that President-elect Ariba told us is going to be doing.
And I just want to also mention that this will also be in the newsletter. When we had our board meeting a couple weeks ago, I took a copy of this, so that will be in the newsletter. So you can look for that in the information section. Thanks, Ann.
Yep. And on the national website, if you go to the calendar, it does continuously update all the availability of all the webinars. We're also working to promote other association workshops, webinars, and even conferences that are available. Many of them, we're partnering up with them, and many of them are offering them free to NAWIC members. So we're still working out the details. Right now, they're on the calendar with the rest of them, but we're having so many associations reaching out to us now, wanting to partner with us, that I think we're going to be actually developing their own page for additional resources. So that has also been something that's been fabulous this year. We've always said that NAWIC's the best kept secret. Well, I'm telling you, ladies, the word is getting out, and they're coming to us. It's just amazing. And we have over 12, just since the beginning of September, 12 active partnerships, collaborations that we're working on. So it's amazing. The next I want to talk about is our strategic plan. We are working, this is another reason why we are doing monthly board meetings, so that way we can keep moving forward with the strategic plan. At the October board meeting, we did update the strategic plan. We did not do anything with the main purpose, values, mission statement, our goals. What we updated was the strategies. And we did it a little bit differently because we thought that it would be great for the members to kind of see a little bit of a progression. So we did a color coding just so you could see where we're at. So all of the ones in black were the original ones, and we're still working on. The ones in green are the ones that we've completed since we initially had this strategic plan back at pre-con 2019. So we've been on this strategic plan for just a little over a year. And typically strategic plans go 3 to 5 years. So it'll be another year or two, at least a year, maybe 2 years before it's evaluated again. We've all, in the purple, that's what we've added since the initial strategic plan. And then the one in orange, we made a little bit of a change. When we originally talked about the diversity data collection is originally what it was set up for. We found out that really what we need to be focusing on is getting an action plan for diversity, inclusion, and equity. And we actually have a task force now that's doing that. That was approved or appointed just a couple months ago. So you will find us on the website with all this information here. Something else that was asked at one of the fall conferences was, I mentioned that we have task forces. We actually have 12 of them on that are active right now, and many of them are the strategic plan. They related directly to that. So what we are also doing is providing all of the active task forces and what their goals and objectives are, and then they're also noted if it's specifically a strategic plan initiative. So this is on the website. I put up here where it's located. Actually, it's located in a number of places, and I've also just recently asked Chrissy to add this task force and also the committee goals and objectives for the year to the strategic plan. So it's just all in one document. You guys can download it instead of having to go different places. So you can go and look at these and see what we're working on. These are also great ideas if you're doing anything on your chapter level, maybe your strategic plan. If there's something that you want to work on locally, you could, reach out to the members that are on these task forces. Just send me an email and I can get you connected to see, what has been working for them and things that they could maybe help you with for your chapter. The national committees, a couple years ago, we started goals and objectives for each one of the committees. And many of the stuff also goes back to strategic plan, because we quickly found out that the national board can't do everything on the strategic plan. We need help. And so that's why we have task forces and we have the committees help us out with this. And a little plug, I'm always looking for more help. And I can find you a spot if you just have a little bit of time, or maybe a couple months, or the whole year. Definitely, I could find a spot for you to help out. So if you're interested, shoot me an email. But this list is everything that the committees are working on, what their goals are, their contests, campaigns, and things of that sort. And that's for every single one of the committees, the national committees that are in place. It also lists the chair, co-chairs, and we also have a staff support for each one of the committees to help them, because we all know this is volunteer time. So we have a staff person helping the committee chairs out with things that they need to get done for the year. So this one's a little bit longer. It's actually 7 pages, but it's really good information about what the committees are working on. Again, this is something that chapters can use. If there's something that you see maybe you want to implement in your chapter, you can reach out to your region chair or even the national chair. I'm sure they would help you out with, they might already have some information to send you, or they can help you out with getting moving. I do want to mention with the education webinars, we also have Leadership Book Club still going on, and you do have availability to join Facebook group if you can't meet a month. The calls are usually monthly, but it's over time. It's not like you read one book in a month. And actually, the book that's being done this time, which every book club is reading, is actually going to go through May, because there's so much information in there, and there's a lot of great conversation that the coordinator for the Leadership Book Club, and along with the author, and the author is actually participating in the discussion. She's had some live videos on Facebook. It's a great, I did not think to put it up on the screen, but it's a great read, and it's great to talk to other women about leadership books and things that they're going through. So that is something that we are continuing to do. This is the webinar. Oops, this is the webinar series I had mentioned that President-elect Doreen Bartholdis is doing. It's for leadership on the national level, but there's a lot of good information to hear for any NAWIC member, or even if you're thinking about moving up to region director and further up the ladder. Believe me, I never in a million years thought that I would ever be NAWIC president, but here I am, and it's a great opportunity to meet people, to support women. It's just fabulous. I'm really loving it, and get to work with. I've worked with Melanie before, and of course I chose Andrea as my membership chair, and can't say enough about Cindy. She's doing a fabulous job as your region director. But I've worked with many members, and it just gives you a different feeling. It's even hard to explain, but a sense of accomplishment, just being region director and supporting your region and then moving up the board. So I do encourage you, even if you're thinking about it or maybe want to learn some more about it, they're going to be done on Mondays. And I believe these will be recorded. So if you can't make them, which that's what happens with our webinars, we do record them. So if you can't actually make that day and time, we upload the video, and then typically the handouts are put on the website as well. So you can go back and listen to the recording. And you guys can also, if you're looking for a meeting topic, you could pull an old recording, listen to the recording, and then maybe have some open discussion about it. That is an option that chapters can do, because there's some great topics out there. So anything from getting involved to the role of the director, chapter elections. We are going to be talking about chapter elections. If you're wanting to learn more about that, that would be a great one to attend. If you're interested in any governance with Robert's rules and motor bylaws, standing rules, all that kind of good stuff, that's also a generalized type topic that could help you even on the chapter level. And some of them are going to be panel discussions, which I found that I appreciate more the panel discussions, because then you're getting different perspectives from more than just one person talking. I know that we had our town hall this week on Monday. We had a great conversation. Doreen Bartholdis, the president-elect, Lali Mitchell, Vice President Karen Hager, NAWIC Treasurer, and myself had a conversation with we had like I think 75 people on the call with us, and we were talking about how NAWIC can educate and support women so they don't create obstacles themselves. So it was really great to hear from the other ladies, but I like learning about other people as well. So some of these are going to be panel discussions. I think personally for me, I think I get more out of it when it's conversation than just a PowerPoint. So if you are interested in any of these, I can get you connected. They will be on the national website on the calendar page with the Zoom meeting information as well. As you all know, we launched our new logo and rebranding in Virtual Annual Conference. Well, we have the final of the brochures, and actually you guys are like the second chapter to actually see these because they're so fresh. We just actually got the order forms all done. Those are going to be all ready so you can start getting these brochures. National does provide these brochures at no charge. We do, because of the coloring and the way that we're branding, we ask that you don't print these, that you have them done professionally or get them from National. They're free if you get them from National. So this is the brochure. Now, if there is something that you want to print or send in an email, besides this one, because this is just the way that it's laid out to print it, we have a 4-page flyer, which really has the same information. It's just in an 8.5 by 11. So this is stuff that you could, you might be able to go ahead and utilize if you didn't have the brochure. And we're really wanting to use pictures of our NAWIC members, and that's really what we have been doing recently. And when I heard you guys are going to be taking pictures next week, make sure you send some of those to National, because you just never know when we'll use them. We've got a blog going on that's just started that we're using pictures. We're working on getting a display booth done, which are going to have pictures of NAWIC women. So we're always needing new pictures. So if you have any, please feel free to send them to National and we can get them used. So that this is just the like I said, the 4-pager. That's bigger for the brochure. I think that's all that I had. Just make sure that I got through everything for you.
I have a question about the brochures. Is there a limit to how many we can order as a chapter?
Typically the order form says 25, but if you are like having a job fair or something, I mean, obviously we have to keep cognizant of how many we send, so just what you need. But if you need more than that, you can just reach out to the staff and they could, get you some more than just the 25.
Okay, because we're having a job walk in January and we're inviting a lot of people who are not NAWIC members. And so that would be great if we can get some extras to hand out and say, give to your company and show them what we're doing. So I wanted to see if there's a limit.
There is actually a couple of things that you can order. Like I said, it just came out. So let me pull out it actually hasn't been posted on the website yet. So let me pull that order form up, because there's other options. It's not just the brochure, because we have like a postcard type thing that you can also get. So and this is the one thing that I don't like about Zoom, is that you have to stop share and reshare. Okay, so this is the marketing tools. You could get the brochure, a postcard. There's also a referral card, and then one pad of a prospect, which I think if you've been in NAWIC a while, it's just going to be updated with the new logo on that one. So, but the postcard and the referral card will be different from what we've had previously, not just the logo change.
Okay, Andrea, can you pass that off to our marketing group?
I'll email it to Andrea. They're all at the printers right now, but you guys said in January we should have them within the next, I would say, week or 10 days. Well, there's Thanksgiving, so it may be a couple weeks before we get them, but we should have them plenty of time, beginning of December for you.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else have any other questions? Great. Well, if you guys ever need anything, don't hesitate to reach out and keep us informed of what your guys doing, because we'd like to hear what's going on in the chapter level too. Thank you, Andrea.
No, thank you, thank you, Anne and Cindy and Melanie. This has been wonderful, and I'm really glad that we did this, because I wanted to start off our year with our foundation for driving. You can't really drive if you don't have the team or a way to get your team together to move forward. And what better way to be informed from all levels on what NAWIC, I mean, when I first joined, I didn't know half of this until about the third year in. So I want, the new women that have come into Nashville, and now that we have it recorded, we can send it to them and be like, hey, thank you for being a new member. Here's this to watch, and you can see what we're doing, nationally and regionally, and certifications. So that's my plan. So does anybody else have any more questions? Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining. It was a great meeting. Again, thank you, ladies, for presenting. And everybody have a good rest of your Friday Eve. And enjoy the weather out there. And I'm sure, and do not forget the driving force picture next Thursday. And you'll see more emails on that coming. So have a good afternoon, ladies.